what's up? This is Natalie La Rose. Keep it locked on that grape juice. How I got started was when I moved to Los Angeles 5 years ago from Amsterdam. I always told my parents when I was really young, like about 10 years old, I was like, you know, Mom and Dad, when I graduate high school, I want to like leave. I'm out, I'm going to go to the States and I'm working on my music and dancing. And they were like, all right. So 5 years ago, I was like, I'm out. So I left and, you know, I started working on my dance and singing career. First dancing, because that was a little bit easier, and I had to, you know, earn my money somehow. So I did some commercials and, you know, dance for other artists.
Which artists did you dance for?
I've danced for Cheyenne. It's like a Latin artist, and he was on tour with Mark Anthony and another Latin singer. And I've actually danced for Jessie J once.
Wow.
Which is crazy. I think it was for X Factor? No, I don't know. One of the TV shows in Los Angeles, which is crazy because now we're label mates.
Wow.
So yeah, I did that, a couple music videos, and eventually I met Flo Rida. And basically when I met him, I say, hey Flo, my name is Natalie, and I think we should work together. And he was like, oh well, play me your music, you know, show me your videos, dance videos. So I did, and he actually loved it, and I started going on tour with him, which was great. I did all his like female parts on his songs, and after that I got signed to his label, which was 2 years ago, and I started working on my solo stuff and still touring with him, and then we wrote my first single, Somebody, last year, and then now it's out.
Wow. So Somebody's blowing all the way up at the moment. It's number 10 on the Billboard charts. It's got a lot of buzz over here in the UK. Why did you choose that particular song to kind of introduce yourself to the world?
Well, because I'm a dancer, like I'm really all about performance and the visual aspect of music. So I was like, I told Flo when we created the song, I said I want to make a song that makes the people dance, you know, and make them feel good. And he was like, okay, let's do it. So we wrote it, and this is what came out. And I'm a huge fan of 80s music, so I incorporated, you know, a little bit of a song inspired by Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody, and we flipped it and made it our own.
Cool. You know, speaking of you said you've been working on your solo material. When can we expect an album, an EP, something like a body of work, so to speak?
I'm working on an EP right now, which is set to be released, I think, somewhere in May or like early June. Yeah, it's gonna be like a 4 or 5 song EP.
Who have you been working with on it?
Sorry?
Who have you been working with on it?
Well, we still have to select the songs for the EP,
okay,
like which ones are gonna make it. But I've worked with people like Red One. I've worked with Rock City. Also with the producers from Somebody, again, which is Cook, Classic, and Futuristics. And so I'm very excited to see how we're gonna like put it all together, which songs are gonna be picked.
Cool. So you've mentioned Flo Rida. He's been very instrumental in kind of introducing you to the world.
Yeah.
How instrumental has he been in the making of the music?
He's actually very involved. He always, you know, gives me feedback. Or, you know, sometimes we're still in the studio together because I live in Miami. Our label and studio is in Miami, and sometimes, you know, we just get together and vibe a little bit and try to write new songs.
So you kind of mentioned you're really inspired by the 80s, and at the same time your music's very current.
Yeah.
Who are the 3 artists you feel you'd say has inspired you the most?
3 artists that have inspired me the most, I have to say Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, and Stevie Wonder.
Wow. Interesting mix.
Yeah.
You know, with a lot of artists these days, there's the ability to perform, but unfortunately sometimes it feels like it's the product of like cuts and edits. Whereas we've seen you on Ellen, we've seen you on Radio Disney, we've seen you do your thing. You really are like the real package. So, you know, tell us a little bit about your performance process. You said you came from a dance background. What's your approach when it comes to performing on the stage?
My approach when I perform on stage, I wanna tell a story when I'm on stage, and not necessarily like a story, but I want everybody to understand when they see. So, I'm not just about doing a bunch of choreography or intricate steps. I'm more about like what triggers the people, what do they like to see, what makes them want to dance with me, So whenever I have songs, when I create a song, I already think about, okay, how would the performance look like? What would I be doing? What step would fit the sound, or the vibe of the music? So I always think about that when I'm creating music.
Cool. It's a crowded marketplace at the moment. There's a ton of females coming out.
Yeah.
There's always like a ton of females and a ton of males out. It's just this very busy at the moment in the music industry. How competitive would you say you are?
How competitive I am. I'm actually all about supporting other artists. I support music in general. So when I hear a good song or a great song, whoever it is from, I will support it and I will let them know, that I appreciate it. But I wouldn't mind that number one spot though.
We hear you, we hear you. So tell us something that would surprise us about Natalie La Rose.
Surprise you, but what would surprise you about me? Well, maybe I'm from Amsterdam, but I just told you that. I have a sister that's 2 years younger, but she looks exactly like me. Like, people are sometimes like, huh, aren't you? And she's like, no, I'm her sister. And let me think. Yeah, I don't know what else.
No, that will suffice. So here, we've got a scenario. Let's play a quick game.
Okay.
So fast forward a year from now, you have 3 number ones, you've had a hit number one album, and then they approach you to do a 2016 take on Ladies Night. You can only pick 2 other artists to join you from the following list. You've got Beyonce, you've got Ciara, you've got Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, and Iggy Azalea. Which 2 do you pick and why?
Beyonce and Nicki.
Why?
Well, Beyonce is a huge inspiration to me, like an example. Whatever she does in her career, like, it inspires me. Like, the move she makes, how she is about her career and about her personal life, like, I love everything about it. And Nicki Minaj is just, she's different. She brings something else to the table, and you can see that she doesn't play around. She's about her business. She's a hardworking woman, I think. Like, she's the definition of, like, making it happen.
Great answer, by the way.
Thank you.
So rounding up, tell us Natalie La Rose in 3 words.
In 3 words? Natalie La Rose in 3 words. I would say adventurous, fun, impulsive.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.